Oh, you know what time it is. Well, you only got 2 motors spinning.
Probably in
Turtle. There you go.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, it's James. I'm Paul. Game of Drones. James added some new hardware to his arsenal over the weekend. The new IX-12. Straight from Spectrum goodness. We've got the IX-12, we got the Skinny Kid, the Wizard 220, the Avant Devil, my Hyperlight Floss, the Sharpoo with the new 3D printed GoPro mount. I picked up this GoPro last week. It's a Session. Done a 3D print. Bought a roll of TPU and experimented around with some 3D printing with it. And printed this Session 4 case, or Session case. The back of it's actually got the Lumineer logo in it. Pretty slick. I found this on the STL files for that are on Thingiverse. As always, the 2206 2450 kV Lumineer FreeBots. 4S 95C Tattoo R-Line, GoPro Session, Lumineer camera, HQ V1S props, Lux V2 board, blah 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 blah, AKK VTX. Morning. I like these Avant Flow props. These are pretty slick. Are these the new ones, or are these?
Those are the new ones.
Aren't the red ones that you those? Which ones are those?
These are the old Avons.
Oh, I thought those were the Flows.
These are.
So we've got these. The Avant. Don't those say Flow on them? No.
R5s.
Those are the R5 5.65. These are the Avant Flows. Left my radio on. Got some new props James gave me. The Azure Power. They look like boomerangs. These are 5 by 4.3 by 3.
Great props.
They are actually pretty good props.
Very responsive.
Oh, here's
very fragile.
Here's the box they come in. More than fast. Part number, yada yada yada.
A lot of other people said that, you know, they held up pretty well, but I've not yet hit anything that one didn't shatter.
So essentially you bought glass props. I actually think those are glass nylon, right?
To be fair, that was during the winter.
Yeah, anything's brittle when it's 10 degrees.
So they'll get a good trial again.
Yeah, check them out in the summer. Maybe they'll be flexible.
Maybe in a little bit. I put them on the Devil.
There's a Devil. There's the boomerangs.
See if this eliminates that bit of vibration I was getting, or if I need to go back into tuning.
I don't know. I think you had a jacked up prop or something, because that thing, you had serious jello in your last video. Oh, we got the Sugar Rushes out. Thunder Power 4S. Those are high voltage, right?
Yep.
XT60. Ooh. Get ready for his sweetness. Plug it up first. This is the one with your Bardwell board, right?
Yep.
The Bardwell FC.
Speedix 30 amps. Emax 2450, 2306s, and a 4S.
It's got plenty of grass on it.
HV.
Yeah, that Tramp's pretty nice. I like mine.
It's got the Roto-Rite run cam. There we go.
Timer stop. Timer start. Timer stop. Timer start.
That's gonna get annoying.
Yeah.
Timer start.
Ooh.
Timer stop. Timer start. Timer stop.
Video's kind
Timer
of rough.
timer start. Timer stop.
That battery just stuck down dead on me.
Where are you?
Over in the grass upside down. Try flipping over. Nope, that's as far as I'll go with that.
Walk of shame already?
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta turn that timer thing off.
Motor off, motor on, timer off, timer on. That would get annoying quick. So I've got a wrap coming for my DX6 and probably wind up wrapping my goggles too. I don't know yet. My Session, I bought this from Amazon last week. It's like 95 bucks. It's a certified refurb, but there's not a blemish on it, honestly. So, excited to see the footage from that. As always, my Fat Shark Dominator V3s. I 3D printed this Molon Labe fan cover. I may actually put the stock one back on because this hits the inside of the top of the case. Done the power button mod. Running the Furious FPV TrueD Diversity module 3.6. I think this is 3.6 firmware. Let me turn it on and look. Yes, 3.6. So there's that. The SpiroNet right-hand circular polarized cloverleaf immersion RC 5.8 dBi patch. And James and I were talking last night, and he asked me if I had turtle mode on any of my quad setup. I said no, because I just don't. Haven't felt like messing with it. And he said he's still yet to have a successful flip over after crash. So I know last time we were here, when we done the last vlog for the channel, he was over there by the park benches and things under the awning there, and he crashed, and he tried to flip over, and he wound up eating two of his props to pieces. When we first got here this morning, there were 4 gentlemen here. Sound like they were talking about work. Why would you want to talk about work on Saturday if you're not at work? Just seems kind of goofy if you ask me. Today is May 26th. It is 9:07 a.m. Uh-oh, heard something. There's the chameleon. That chameleon's a pretty awesome frame, but as much as I want that or the Chameleon TI or the Rooster, I think my next build is going to be, I think it's going to be the Schizo Nova, I believe. It's a pretty awesome frame. And I think damn gnats, they're everywhere out here. I think I'm going to go with these Lumineer Fray bots on it too. These are actually on Get FPV right now. When I bought these motors, they were $28 a piece, which is like 120 bucks for motors. And they're like 120 bucks for motors, so I was kind of hesitant about buying them to begin with, because this was my first this was really my first ground up build where I picked all the components for it and everything. So I was skeptical about paying 110 bucks for motors, but they are, let me take them out here in the sun. They are pretty nasty. If you haven't seen them, the Luminaire Freybotts, just Google Luminaire Freybott, Freybott. Look how pretty those are. That 7 colored finish. I got them paired to these purple HQ V1Ss. These are 5 by 4.8 by 3 V1Ss. If you want to check out my other channel, PMM4177, I'll put a link in the description below. And there's the chameleon back. Yeah, check out my other channel, PMM4177. I'll put a link in the description below. Had a flight last week where I live in front of a baseball field, and I was flying through the scoreboard and I accidentally hit the scoreboard with a quad. So yeah, the chameleon with all of its grassy glory. A lot of what? I was out there.
Maybe it's all the moisture, humidity.
Humidity. So how'd it fly?
Oh, they were good. Oh, it was recording.
Yeah, it was blinking when you come in.
I like them. They're different. I think they brought out a little bit of bad part of my tune. I've got a little bit of yaw, a little more grass. Throttle punching, I twist left a little bit, so I need to adjust my yaw a little bit.
I was getting that since I put this GoPro on. I noticed it when I flew just now, that when I would throttle punch, when I let off of the throttle, the front would want to dip down. I'm not sure if it's the drag of the GoPro or the weight, or maybe these props. These are actually different props. I haven't flown these yet, so I do know props, they actually do make a difference on your tune, don't they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, all of them respond different. If some of them's a little bit out of balance, it'll make a difference. I like these. They're nice.
Well, on the
Responsive.
yeah, on the LHI that I've got, it came with bi-blades and it would hover good. There was really no tuning issues when I first put it together, and then I went to a Soul X prop. I think that was the name of them. They were orange, and when I put those on, it would hover like this. I mean, it was bad. So after a little bit of tuning, some fiddling, I got most of the oscillation out of it, but I still haven't technically flown it because the camera and the VTX on it are crap. It's got, when I bought that quad, I also ordered a set of the Fat Shark teleporters, the V5s, and it came with a camera and a VTX, which at the time I didn't know a whole lot about. I didn't know a whole lot about FPV then. I was just getting into it, and the camera works and everything, but what I later found out, actually Joshua Bardwell's got a video of how bad that VTX is because it doesn't have a removable antenna. And the reason it doesn't have a removable antenna, it allows you to fly without a ham license because it's a non-removable antenna. It's an FCC approved?
Yeah, FAA.
Yeah, it's FAA or FCC approved, something like that. But it's an approved VTX for FPV, so it won't require you to have a ham license. Now it says it's 25 milliwatts, but if I'm not mistaken, when Bardwell done his review on it, he done some testing, and I think it was Bardwell. They done some testing, and you barely get like 1 milliwatt out of it. It's like 1.5 milliwatts or something you actually get out of that VTX, and it's horrible. I mean, yeah, the camera on it might be all right with a different lens on it, but I'm gonna have to change the VTX out on that. I think I'm gonna order another one of these AKK and then VTX is for it, or either I'm gonna order another Tramp HV and put it on my Sharpoo, and then put the AKK on the Sharpoo onto the LHI paired with that Fat Shark camera. So let's see if that gets some of the see if it actually makes the video any better. Let me, what are you working on, tuning?
Yeah, I'm just checking my channel. Oh, I love the smart audio. That's like the best thing in the world. Race band, channel 3, frequency.
Yeah, you can bring your GoPro or your computer with you, but if you have smart audio, you really don't even have to take it out of your bag.
Power 600. Yeah, I love it. It's the best thing. Like if you're not running it, you should run it.
Either that or the is it a TBS Unify that also has smart audio?
Yeah, TBS Unify, the Cricket. There's actually a lot of video receivers out there for transmitters that are running. No wonder I was having some glitching. There it goes on
The wrong channel on your goggles.
Yeah. On AA. Probably from where I was flying the Torrent last. Yeah, there's all kinds of them out there. Currently I have the Tramps and I have the Cricket. They both have Tramp uses Tramp telemetry, which is awesome because it keeps your audio channel open. So like the Cricket uses smart audio. So the joys of smart audio is you can actually control your VTX via your controller or via your your OSD. And this enables you to just PID tuning, rates, your filters, your
Oh, you can do notch filtering on there too.
yeah, you can do all your filters.
I haven't really played with it a lot, but
So a little bit of difference is like, so with Betaflight, I think it's 3.2 and higher, your don't quote me on the numbers, you go in there to do your notch filters, you can turn them on and off via slider. Now if you go into OSD, you're still doing it by value instead of slider.
what's the value? 0 to 100?
0 to 600, I think. It might go higher than that. I haven't really messed with the values on there. I tuned on mine via computer. I just turned them off. Important thing about that too, not to rush into it. If you're going to go and change the filtering on your quad, make sure you change it to PT1 first from biquad, and then do one filter at a time and check your motors. Make sure, fly PT1, come back, make sure your motors aren't hot. Turn off your first gyro notch, fly it, make sure it's not hot. Turn off your second one, fly it, make sure it's not hot. Now the dynamic filter, some people turn them off, some people say leave it on. Kind of controversial on what to do with it. So right now, currently on my Chameleon, which I need to unplug, it's just sitting here. On my Chameleon, I've got it turned off. It flies great. I don't really get a lot of vibration on it. It responds well. I've not had any issues. I can't see any reason why.
Did you turn all your notch
turning
filters
it
off?
on. Yes. So on
And
this one,
there's-
all of them are off.
There's what, 3, right?
Yes, correct. 2 gyro notches in your D-turn notch.
The notch for D's.
Notch and D's.
D's notches. D's notches.
So this is my new toy. I love it.
That is pretty awesome.
I would have never bought this radio only because of the cost of it. And I didn't. Last time I had a touchscreen radio was the Fly Sky
Yeah, it was
i6.
the i4.
i4.
The i4S, the one coming with the stylus. That was it's actually a ground radio though.
The radio functioned great. This touchscreen was great. It had a stylus inside it, and that was great. Wouldn't remember models, so I didn't care for it.
It wouldn't hold a bind. That was really like the first radio I saw with a full color touchscreen and all that on it.
Yeah, and it was a good one, but I like this one. I like the Google based. I'm an Android user, so I like the ability to move around. And one thing I will forewarn you guys out there about is the more you put on it, the faster your battery is going to go down. And it's going to work just like any phone, any computer. You fill all your memory up, your controller is going to run slower.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of extra stuff on there that I'm going to go through and take off. I don't feel like it needs to be on there, and I won't ever use it. But I did put Spotify on here, which is kind of awesome because, you know, everybody's like, let's listen to music. Well, then you got to carry headphones, and then you can't hear your radio for telemetry. Well, on here you can plug your earphones into the back via this port here, auxiliary port.
The other port is for the
I don't know
TBS
if I'm in
Crossfire.
offline mode right now either.
I'm not showing you to be offline because we don't have
No
Wi-Fi.
connection. Yeah,
I
but
guess
you can go in offline mode. I just don't have it turned on yet. You got to be premium, I think, to be offline mode too. But anyway, you can also store a bunch of music on your memory card. Stick your memory card in here, and then you can play it off your memory card via Google Music Player or so on and so forth.
Yeah, just like the music player that's on your phone.
Yeah, so
There you go. That looks just like an Android phone.
you got play music there. I mean, you can turn on maps, feed your Wi-Fi into here, use GPS. You can view all your GoPro videos on here. You can sit here. There's downloadable Sims on here that you can actually play from your controller and watch on your screen and play.
That's cool.
You can anything you can do with the phone you can do on here. You can through Wi-Fi you can download Message Plus on here, and you can message and so on and so forth. You can Facebook or whatever it is, whatever your forte is. But again,
If you're into that sort of thing.
I would advise exactly. If I would advise not putting all that stuff on your controller.
That was
Give
what-
yourself the room. Leave your RAM free and make your controller flow.
Wasn't that Falcon FPV you were talking to about that? About the
Yeah. So Falcon X, great guy. Falcon Hobbies, highly recommend them. They're in Springfield, Illinois. If you ever get in that area, awesome store, gigantic store. They've got indoor tracks, they've got outdoor dirt tracks, outdoor rock tracks, quad racing tracks. They stock a hefty line of Emacs, Shin drones, all kinds of props, all kinds of flight controllers, antennas. I mean, you name it. One of the few hobby stores out there, and everybody notices that hobby stores don't really stock all this stuff because, you know, everybody wants something different. Everybody wants something particular to them. These guys do a really good job trying to keep things up for everybody. So
yeah, or they want something but they want it in a different color and
these guys do great. So you're ever in the area, Springfield, Illinois, check them out. They're right there downtown, not far off of 55, about probably 3 miles.
what was he telling you about the being Facebook on the phone or on the
So
controller?
he by mistake, well, I guess it wasn't really a mistake, but he put it on there and didn't think it through. So now every time he connects to Wi-Fi, all his notifications start popping up.
Oh, God.
I don't ever plan on putting any of that stuff on my controller.
That's what I have
I
a
don't
phone
use it.
for if I did.
It's got YouTube. I've watched YouTube videos on it.
That I could do.
But I guess, you know, it's to each their own. You do what you want to do with it. I would just advise, don't cram it full like you do your phone, because if you fill your RAM up, you fill your memory up, it's going to slow down, and then you're going to be frustrated thinking something's wrong with your controller. It's only got 1 gigabyte of RAM in it. So, I mean, just,
You know,
I think that's what it was. Anyway.
in comparison, 1 gig is not very much memory at all, or RAM.
We can go down
But-
here into storage settings. So RAM size 1 gig. So that 1 gig supporting every active running program feature on your radio.
Yeah.
So everything you turn on takes away from that gig.
Yeah, if you've got freaking 15 apps up and running, then it's gonna.
You get that 1 gig used up, it's going to freeze up. You're going to be in mid-flight, and that thing's going to lock up in the air because it's not going to send anything. It's
That
not-
would be my only fear of it. Have, you know, cache and stuff on it from, you know, visiting websites or whatever, and then your RAM fills up, and then all of a sudden mid-flight, you know, got them $600 freestock drone hits the ground face first.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, my advice is not to fill it up. Now, I could be completely wrong. They might have bulletproofed against that. Once it goes in the RF, it's a simple mode. It doesn't require the RAM to run all of it. But all your monitoring, everything's controlled through, you know, an app. And the app, any of the apps run based off of your memory. So it is far more complex therefore requires more. So,
It is a pretty awesome radio, though.
yep, I can honestly say I love it, other than I would have never bought it if it wasn't for the fact that TBS Crossfire plugs up right here,
That's going to be the next upgrade.
mounts right here. I'm actually picking it up on my way back through on Tuesday.
Well, I guess I need to 3D print you a mount for it before you leave then, huh?
Yeah, I could use that. And I'm gonna try it out. I want to do long range. I want to see what's out there, what's out and about.
So on the Crossfire, you said you have different receivers. You actually have Crossfire receivers, correct?
Correct.
And those are what, 50?
The micro receiver's 50. I don't know the price of the other two. But the micro receiver, I kid you not, is no bigger than my pinky nail right there.
Oh,
The
wow.
receiver itself is that big, has a UFL plug on it.
In other
Snap
words,
it
don't
right
drop
on.
it in the carpet, you'll lose it.
Yeah, exactly. It's smaller than a Polulu step up, step down regulator. Little, like 3.3 volts. It's smaller than that.
Really?
And you do 3 solder tabs, connects it to your board. You can mount the thing virtually anywhere. You
So it
plug
runs
your-
on what, S-Bus or
No, it actually
Serial?
runs on CRS, which is Crossfire. Their own serial protocol.
oh, they've got their own proprietary protocol.
So you make those connections. Put your antenna where you need to put it. I'd advise.
But it
not
hooks
running
up
with
basically
carbon
like a
fiber.
Spectrum or a
3 wires.
or a Tyrannus. Well, I don't know anything about the Tyrannus receivers. I guess they're 3-wire connection too, aren't they?
So I haven't messed really anything with the connections in here, but pretty much you go in. Let's see if I can find it here. Serial port setup. Push proceed, turns the RF off. So right here it says Spectrum RF, serial port power. You would turn Spectrum RF off. Maybe. No, better. Right there, Crossfire, Crossfire 2. That's all there is to it.
So when you
Crossfire.
activate Crossfire, it inhibits the Spectrum RF.
Alright, so now it's transmitting signal via this serial plug on the back, and it would then start using the signal coming through your Crossfire.
That's pretty awesome.
Touch of a button, that quick. That's
Long
awesome.
range.
Yeah, so what I've heard is perfect world scenario. You can get 40 kilometers, which calculates out to like 26.5 miles.
Wow.
That's a long ways.
Very far.
Now, where that perfect world scenario is, probably desert or, out in the middle of something.
Lab perfect settings.
Yeah, so, but the odds that you're ever going to fly 26 miles away, you'll be doing good because you're going to have to do something for video to get the same, the same reception. So,
And batteries.
yeah, and battery, and be able to carry the weight.
So that
Heaven
really.
forbid you ever crash that far out. That would suck.
Oh God. I think that was one of the biggest issues people had with that was the battery life before the new beta firmware update.
But I heard that some Sugar Rush batteries were done charging.
Some Sugar Rush. Are those the ones you had in storage mode or storage charge?
Yeah, these are the ones that I won't go back to flying on a bottom battery because on a bottom mount quad. I like the bottom mount quads. They fly great and they keep everything up off the ground. If you need to take off in some grass and it's a little bit tall, you don't get covered like my Chameleon does. But also when you land on them, and even if you have carbon fiber pads, you can tell these have taken some damage. They've been beat to pieces.
Oh yeah. I mean that's just a shrink wrap, but inevitably that's what holds all the cells together.
So I've had 6 Tattoo red line batteries, and I'm down to 3 now. I've got one that I'm gonna pull a sail off of and put a new sail on it because I had a sail crash out on me.
Oh, this is that's the Dahl engine. The Dahl engine. What's this plug on top of it? That's for the VTX, right?
Yeah, VTX or stackable.
Seems like they put that on the bottom so you could leave this pretty heat sink on top.
I thought the same exact thing on that.
Like,
Why
why
would
would
you cover it?
yeah? Why would you make something that cool and then make it where you can cover it up? You're running the tramp on this one too, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, the smart audio is like crazy easy to hook up to. I didn't realize how easy it was. You just use your audio wire. No one runs with a microphone much anymore anyway. Use your audio wire onto a onto one of your UART. Is it the TX or the RX pad? I think it's
TX.
Yep. Use your audio wire on a TX pad, and then you have to go into your configurator and turn on your you have to turn on that UART for Tramp HV or the TBS Unify. They both have smart audio, and the newer versions of Betaflight have both in their configurator.
The Tramp has its own, and then the other one's the TBS.
Well, this is our little fly spot out here. I'm actually kind of hesitating. I'd like for it to dry up a little more. This is the grass. I don't know if you can see it, but you see the shimmer of the morning dew. And she's off. That thing flies so good. Ripcord.
That was close.
That thing rips.
Oh, more grass.
Yeah, you're good. You're on the concrete now.
Didn't hurt anything. I just buzzed the grass, got a little too close to the ground. Yeah.
What's command off?
Still showing 15.1 volts.
Now everybody's going to 6S, and well, then I guess that means 4S batteries might get cheaper. Incoming! And nice landing. That was one of your sugar rushes.
Yeah.
Ooh, pretty maids all in a row. So these are the Thunder Power Sugar Rush.
Print on it was really super small, hard to see.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was just trying to look at. That's nice. You put your fire warning in small enough print you can hardly read it. What is it? On your battery tester?
Yeah. I was showing 13.9 when I came in and landed.
What's it at now?
This shows 13.1.
You may have your percentage off on your OSD.
Yeah, it might be the difference of the high voltage coming through it or something. I don't know. Time to track.
Let me take this guy.
Yeah, I've had like stops and thinks about it.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. If you're wondering, I just upped my my milliwatts from 25 to 200 and try that. Try that again. The walk of shame. I bounced and rolled. Here comes James and the Chameleon. That thing rips, dude. Oh, here here it comes. God. There you go. Now do it full throttle. Nice little split ass over the tree. Oh! They got him. You almost had it.
That would have been good too.
Let's sit right here, just fly from this spot. No damage at all. I mean, you better shift it a little, and you got some pine needles in the frame, but no worse for the wear.
Now rolled, power rolled.
Yeah, I saw that. It's gonna come back in and blammo. Damn, I wish I could get it from down here without getting hit in the face. Just don't wreck my GoPro. Yeah, you made it past the camera.
Any damage?
Nah. I was gonna say, where's your GoPro, but it's still on it. Done it again. This time he caught this branches right here.
Stand it up like right there in the grass facing that way. I gotta come through again.
Is it time for the skinny kid? So which quad's the fat kid?
It's the wizard.
The wizard's the fat kid. It's the wizard. You've actually got some pretty good hardware on there. I mean, you got a run cam and... Which VTX is that on there? Isn't that Spectrum? Oh, Luminaire, yep. Spectrum Luminaire. Flown it yet?
Hadn't flown it. It's fast.
How long have you had that quad and hadn't flown it?
Since March.
Really? Yeah. You've had it 2 months and hadn't flown it?
I kept running into issues. Every time I build, camera wouldn't work right. You know, something was off.
This has got the MMCX connector on the VTX with a Strix, Astrix left-hand square polarized, circular polarized antenna. In case you guys hadn't seen my laptop in any of my other videos, there it is. Bardwell, Flight Test, Supertech, Luminaire, Strix, Wild Willie. Okay, here we go. This is the maiden voyage. This is the HMS Shaggetsea.
The cricket. We'll do a search for a channel. Yeah, so downfall of the cricket. You've got to reach a button.
Yeah, just like that Luminaire one I had, or that Spectrum, that 200 milliwatt Spectrum that I ripped the SMA connector off of when I crashed into the dugout last year.
And of course, I've got a plug right
Yes, I said crashed into a dugout.
That was the wrong button.
On that Spectrum when I had, it would turn green when it was on.
This is on.
I can't wait to get home and see the juicy HD footage and I think we ought to go rip up the golf course, piss the golfers off. If I'm not mistaken, that's actually a golf course down on the other side of that little sidewalk down there. That's the only thing I hate about those VTXs. You have to turn on separately from everything else. Here we go, the Maiden of the Skinny Kid. Who makes this one?
Race flight.
Race Flight Skinny Kid.
Hopefully it doesn't flip out and come over and hit me in the face.
Yeah, it's almost done. It flipped out.
And this is why I have yet to fly the Skinny Kid.
Issue after issue. It's like that vehicle you have. You just have to keep throwing money at and tinkering with to get it to work. And just when you think you got it to work, no, not working.
Fly the Wizard.
Do it. You're gonna break out the OG Wizard, huh? Wasn't this one of your first quads?
This is actually the first squad.
This is what started the madness of all of this and this and all of that and some more of this over here, because had he not got one, I probably wouldn't have got one. I was originally wanting a DJI, but now that I watched videos and
Better set my controller up.
I don't care much about having one anymore. Maybe one for some cinematic stuff, but those are the Eachine motors, 2205, 2300.
I'm still 100% sold on bottom mount batteries or top mount batteries.
I like the way the Sharpie flies, but it's completely different from the way the Floss flies.
Do you have a 45 degree with you?
Maybe. One in there.
Awesome.
That GoPro's seen better days. Jesus, fuck. What'd you do, body slam it in the ground?
Yeah, just did it in a handful of times.
Half a dozen times. I see why you're hesitant about putting the 5 on top of it now.
Hey, if you ain't flying, you ain't flying.
You ain't flying, you ain't flying. Yeah, see, all of your LEDs on your battery work. Mine don't work, only 2 of them. What the hell, Fat Shark? I contacted you guys and you told me we don't deal with consumables. Consume my ass. This is what my battery does. When I push the button, all 4 of the LEDs are supposed to light up. I get 2 of them. The outside 2. Sometimes if you tap on it, none of them work. D-Shot 600?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Finding. Find complete. ESMX 11 milliseconds.
Dude, these gnats are vicious.
So this already has HD footage built into it. This one needs some serious tuning though.
It already has juicy HD footage, as Stu calls it. Good day!
Timer up on this model too.
You're gonna snap that antenna off.
What channel does it say I'm on?
R3.
Perfect. I thought so. It's hard to tell with these RunCam split cameras.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of latency, and there's always wavy lines. You can't get rid of the wavy lines.
Looks like it don't do too bad. Oh! Got him! Damn you, plane, go away. Still Allegheny. Sling the dirt off the props when you pull up. Actually, don't look like it flies too bad.
That's pretty good. It's got a lot of prop wash still yet.
Yeah.